late.
Wow, good afternoon, everybody. How are we doing? Sorry, you can just about see the back there of the old Kallax. We want to get that out of the way because it's an unsightly mess at the moment. We don't want that going through all the kids' toys and that. But hello and welcome into your afternoon rabble. Good job you didn't give yourself good odds there, Lyndon, wasn't it? Because you'd have lost. Bang on time today, bang on time. So guess what happens when the gaffer's not here? We get in on time. Just to confuse issues, just in case you weren't sure who was on today, we've doubled up the name and... right next door to me there is the better looking one of the two of us, Mr. Ian T. How are we doing?
Well, if I'm better looking, the bar must be low then, Ian. You know what I mean? So
I see this in the mirror. Yes.
You know, but yeah, I'm doing all right. I'm still struggling with this luggy thing I've had. It takes my voice away at times and all that kind of stuff. But I've got a double shift tonight. I'm on with Martin at 9:30 tonight. I don't know what he's got lined up, but I'm looking forward to it. It's I've missed not being on the pod as much as I usually am. So, yeah, looking forward to it. And I think, Ian, I'm right in saying we've got a doozy of a Who Am I today.
I think we've cracked it today.
They're not going to get it. They're just not going to get it.
Anyway, we will move on. The usual thing of 15 minutes of this, that, and the other, and then 15 minutes of, unfortunately, Rangers. Sniper, how you doing? I do like that picture. That was very good makeup, that one. Anybody who has been on this morning, I've already been on for 2 hours before I did this, doing the new playthrough of Days Gone for the members, and anyone who was watching that. So I had some major technical issues with the stream. It kept popping in and out, and the camera kept going off. Hopefully I've sorted all that out in the half-hour break, but we'll go for it. I think we've got a question as well for today, and I think Ian, this was one of yours. You came up with it the other day.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to put it to the guys?
Yeah, you put it to them. I'll get it typed out.
You want to do your little question of the day?
Oh,
intro?
Yeah, that bit.
Yeah. Come on.
All right, ready? Let's go.
Go for it.
It's the question of the day. If you love a good question, then we're coming your way with the question of the day. Question of the day.
Got to say, how much better is that, Ian, than the last one?
I still like the last one.
Yeah, do you like
that is better. I just like this.
Do you know? I think what annoyed me about it is how much Martin liked it and wind everyone else up with it. You know?
Oh, he just did it to wind folk up. That's the only reason he did it. Okay, as it was your question and you came up with it, why don't you ask?
Yeah. What was that? Yesterday I came up with that, wasn't it? That one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, what was your Rangers Rabble highlight of 2024? I've got a cracker that I experienced, but what was your highlight of your Rangers Rabble 2024? What was that? What was your funniest or best moment?
Go on then, lead the way.
I've got to say, I can't remember who we were playing. It escapes me at the moment. We were not playing a Ukrainian team in Poland, but anyway, we were live. We were live from Poland, Ian, and with 2,500 people watching. Big Wilf clips in with his live from Poland bit. Looked fantastic, amazing backdrop. Looked every bit the professional outfit, and then he cut the feed on the whole game. You know. And we didn't recover from it afterwards. In every other podcast, all the figures trebled, which was brilliant, you know. So that was my highlight. That was funny for me. But that was what'd you call it? That was hilarious. It was horrendous at the time, horrendous. But now we can look back and laugh on it. Big Wolf giving it with his phone, giving it, and here I am in Poland, and by the way, now that I've stopped talking, the whole show's finished.
Yeah.
Bang.
No. Once Wilf's talked, that's it. There's just no. You can't beat Wilf's. No, that wasn't good. I think I was on that night as well when that happened.
I think
it was me, you, and Martin. I think.
Yeah, it was. There was 4 of us actually. Well, that would have been Wilf.
Wilf come in and ruined it all. I think I think it was one that I did with Connor and with Rob as well, with Robert, for me, where we had done 6 minutes of the pod in the SPFL show, and we had actually gone live.
Yeah, I remember that.
Martin kept popping into the pod and going, "What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Why aren't you live? Why like when you ready?
It was me that dropped a penny for you in the comments and said, "Guys, were you guys coming on or what?"
Yeah,
you know,
then I think we were motoring through the SPFL. We were talking about highlights and everything behind the scenes. It was great.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that was one of
any
mine.
good ones? We must have a few coming in there. Let's have a look. That's a good point from Sniper Ronaldo there. Snipers, the Discord being created again, Ian. That was very much your baby.
Yeah, Martin wanted to do it. I've got a Discord of my own. Plus, I'm in multiple Discords, so I wanted to get something going. It took a couple of attempts because we had some horrible people in the background trying to make a mess of it and make money out of it and that sort of stuff. But
that's not just 2024. That's been this year as well. To be honest, hasn't it?
That was just yesterday, was it not?
Martin had ongoing battles with his hair. Provided many moments of hilarity. You're absolutely right, Michael. It did.
Okay, other moment, if you want, is the amount of pictures Martin now has his face on is quite a highlight as well.
Oh, that was Gallant's got a good one here. Hold on, let me have a look. When Brian ended the show, ran the credits, and left the camera recording. Yeah, that was a classic. That was a classic. I think was it him and Trev. I think. Yeah. It was. I think Trev was relatively new at the time. And I swear to God, just glad that was Brian and Trev, because that was me and Martin. There'd been all the effing and jeffing going on in the background, you know. But Brian plays with a straight bat. He's a good lad, and he's very very professional and very polite. So he's unlikely to trip himself up that way. There you go. Brian's on. There we go. Look.
Brian's in with us. He's always here, is Brian.
Honestly, man. I know.
If you're at work, Brian, don't get caught, though. We don't want you getting in trouble.
Top lad.
Gallant being gallant, though, he was definitely hoping they'd say something bad.
I know.
Right, we have, like I say, we do have a doozy of a Who Am I? I don't know whether to do it yet or wait, but just before we talk about Rangers, I think we'll just do it just before that. That'll give you 15 minutes to think about it a little bit as well. Any other highlights that you can think of throughout the year? Good, bad, or indifferent, whatever you want. Even they don't have to be funny ones. They can just be a moment that you remember, something that you saw from a watch along, from a members show, from the public shows, from whatever. Take that, Ian. That's Ian's one, not mine. I'm not going to take any credit for it. He came up with it, and I liked it. So
I got all the good ones.
He gets all the good ones. Anything else that's caught your eye recently before we start banging on about things we don't want to talk about?
Rangers. Do you know, it's been interesting. Do you know, January's going to be, I know we're going straight into talk about Rangers and January windows, all the rest of it, but January's going to be an interesting month for us because a lot of people are wondering, well, do we back? You know, I think Martin's tight. In fact, will Clement be backed in January, as he's titled this afternoon, Rabble? Well, I think it's a bit of a moot point, actually, because regardless of what happens to Clement, we still need a striker, we still need a centre-half, we still need X amount of players in positions of the park. So Niles Cloppen will go about his job regardless. The manager's input in that is, you know, Niles Cloppen will present him with 2 or 3 options that's within our budget. The manager will run their eye over them and, you know, and tell him which one he particularly fancies. So our recruitment is something that sits separate, but not completely separate from the manager, but it's a different part of the football club. So will Clement get back in January? I would say probably. Would we bring people in regardless if he wasn't there or if he was on a sugary peg? Yeah, I think we still would. Ian, what's your thoughts?
Well, as it's obvious that they're not going to be pulling the trigger on him. They're going to be keeping him to at least the summer at the very least, which I think will keep him longer than that at this point. They'd be foolish not to back him and give him more chance to make the club grow. I don't think it's going to be a case of, right, here's a blank check, go sign who you want. No. I think there's going to be some back and forth. I think we're going to need to get rid of players before we go. There's certain players that need to go now. And there's other players that if the offer is just too good to turn down, that will go, that we might not want to see leave as well. I think there's going to be a little dealings and whatnot. I'm a bit annoyed currently myself. It's the 8th of January and nothing's happened. Not even a rumor from within the club. Just it's what you're seeing on the internet. Get to them in a bit. But yeah, I think they've got to back him, because otherwise, why keep him on?
And here's a good point from Gone Rogue, or Gone Rouge. Gone Rouge, sorry. Yeah. Why do we want to bring back old players? Wrong moves. I agree with that. I mean, don't get me wrong. Someone will say Mark Hateley came back, he was great. Alan McGregor came back, he was great. Stephen Davis came back, he was great. I get all that. These guys had long-term affiliations with the club and were quality players, you know. But I'm not convinced. Certainly, I mean, the Portis one was a non-starter for me, Ian. But Katic, you know, he's at a good age now. I understand he's a big bit of a defender. We lack that physicality at the moment. But he also used to get caught awful high up the pitch, and you know, he would play a lot of the opposition centre forwards onside at times. He's got 18 months left in his current contract where he is, so that means us having to part with some dough for him, which, from what I hear and what I've read online, will be the best part of a couple of £1 million. And at that point, Ian, it starts to sound a bit less attractive, doesn't it?
It does sound a little bit less attractive, but the question you got to ask is how, and this goes for Porteous as well.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm not a massive fan of Porteous, and I don't, you know, and I think he proved the type of player he is at the Euros, where he can't control, control the way he tackles. However, you've got to look at what you've got and look at it and say, will these two be better than what we have? And if the answer is yes, you go get them.
Yeah.
And at the moment, the answer is yes. So
it is, but the answer is yes to that question. But shouldn't the question be we should be looking for a better player somewhere else?
Well, yeah, but I wouldn't be against Katic coming in, though. I wouldn't, because I don't think Katic ever wanted to leave. I think he was slightly.
Yeah, he did. Listen, there's no doubt. I mean, he's made it so public his desire to come back to the club, and I love that. I absolutely love that. But I just, you know, it's another one of these players that when they're not here anymore, all of a sudden they become a little bit better than they actually were, I think. But I mean, I would love to be proven wrong, because you always want, I mean, listening to Hadji and all the things that we spoke about last Friday night about Hadji, how he went out for a year with a ridiculously difficult injury, huge rehabilitation project. He then played his heart out in the B team. He said and did all the right things, and he's come back and made a difference, I've got to say, in the first team. So, you know, that type of attitude seems to be the type of attitude that Niko Katic has. So to that end, brilliant. But unless he's vastly improved as a centre half, Ian, I'm not sure that's the right way to go.
The only reason we're talking about it is because the only name we're hearing. There's obviously the Johnny Evans thing, but apparently Clement is not keen on Johnny Evans due to his age. Jock Blue's taking you to task, by the way. Just so you know.
I see that. Let's bring that up. Because everyone's agreeing about the Katic comments. But what I would say, listen, Raskin's had a complete turnaround of form. Anyone with a pair of eyes in their head, what they'd seen up to the point of Raskin turning the corner, it was pretty average. You've got to say that. I mean, there's been separate podcasts up to this point that have actually been titled "What has happened to Nico Raskin?" Or, this guy's turned the corner. He's now playing out his skin. Absolutely, we saw glimpses of a player there, but the Nico Raskin of last year was, late into challenges, wee bit lightweight, off the pace, all that kind of stuff. But absolutely, I put my hands up and say, I'm amazed and over the moon with his upturning form. Absolutely brilliant. But I think Niko Katic is a different animal. Ian, what do you think?
Yeah. I don't see. I mean, because he's going to come out and say that he wants to come back, and easy journalism. And they fly out to wherever he's based now, and then have a chat to him about Rangers, and then chuck it out into the media and say, look, he wants to come back. it's just there's no other rumours out there, so that's why we end up talking about it. But we do need to be bringing someone in, because I know that Proper can play tomorrow against Dundee, but at one point this week, none of us were sure, which left us with King and Ciala at the back for the game against Dundee if no one else was fit, which it was worrying. So regardless of whether it's Katic, Portis, or somewhere else, we need to be bringing a centre-back in quick sharp. So we've got some backup on there. But we've made it to 12:45, so I've got to give these guys a chance to do this Who Am I?
Yeah.
So we are going to go for it, and I'm
confident. I'm getting us a point today, Ian.
I'm confident. So I am a Dick Advocat signing, and I spent 3 years at the club. That'll do for now.
That's enough. Yeah.
That'll do for now. So
you want to say it again, Ian? You want to say it again?
Yeah, Dick Advocat signing, and I spent 3 years at the club, and that's it. We'll give you some more in a bit, but let's let you think on that for a moment.
That's more than previous pods have given us the first question.
Yeah,
our first clue rather.
And
some names coming in there already.
I was tempted to go with I wore the blue shirt and came out the tunnel for games, and I was told that was too much. So move on.
Brilliant.
So outside, because obviously we do. Obviously, we're going to talk about Clement getting backed in January. We've identified the fact that centre back is definitely something we need to do. Where else right now does this team need to strengthen? Where else does Clement need to look if he's going to get the back in?
Centre back's an absolute priority for me. Would you still look at bringing in something up front, Ian? Maybe. As much as we've got Danilo and Igaman firing better than they have for a while, if we're getting rid of Dessers, does that mean we've got a wee, the assumption is that Dessers will move on. Maybe he won't, because we're in that situation with Dessers again, whereby he's got quite a peachy contract. Yeah. And who's gonna match or better that at his age? I wouldn't imagine many people. But I would say one, maybe I would almost think, maybe two centre halves, because let's be honest, look at as good as Suter is, and as good as Balogun is, Balogun's 36 and Suter's injury prone.
Oh, I'll fight back on that one with Suter. Just I think this is his first injury this season.
Yeah, for us, but he's got previous with Hearts, Ian.
No, yeah, he's got previous with Hearts. You can't.
No. It was out. Yeah, it's the first one this season. Oh, Christ Almighty! But January, that's
good for Suter, though.
Yeah, exactly.
He does have an injury history behind him, definitely.
Where would you strengthen outside the centre half, Ian?
If Dessers goes, then yes, we'll need to bring another forward in.
Left wing.
I think we are light still in the wings, because we've seen it this season where we've pretty much Cortez has been out. For whatever reason, McCausland is not getting a look in. He'd rather play Kieran Dow.
It was an Advocat signing, Michel.
So I think the wings need to be done. I think the centre of midfield, I think we're all right now. That number 10, we've definitely got two players that can interchange in there, no problem at all, which was a worry. You're right back. I think we need to look at it again, because obviously we had Casa, we had Sterling. Sterling's now injured. Casa's out until at least Easter. So right back as well would be a place I'd go looking at.
Yeah, and Jock Blue brings up right winger there now. Would you still be? If we could afford it and if the price was right, Ian, I'd be looking to tie Cherny down if he became available for us. Would you?
The price has to be right. The muted prices that I was hearing was something like between 5 and 6 million. I'm not paying 5 or 6 million.
And what's Cherny, 28?
Yeah, 28 going on 52 by the looks of him. But he's inconsistent. I don't think he's 5 or 6 million. Danilo's proven to be worth like 5 or 6 million already, and his short term this season more than Cherny is. So I would, but the price would have to be right. And 5 or 6 million for me is not the right price.
Now, if you've been checking, there's been a lot of names coming in.
Oh, I've been
Ian.
starring the names. Don't worry, I've got 21
Yeah,
star
okay,
comments at this
good
point.
stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's what I like to see. Nobody's right.
Multiple man, you are correct. So it will not be. Lee Feeney, because Lee Feeney was one of
Tell you,
mine.
mate, we've
so I know
tracked it.
it's
We've
not him.
tracked it. Oh, hold on. Who let multiple man in? Who let multiple man in?
Martin's
This is,
nemesis.
He's an enigma. He gets everything.
It's just a couple of
have you
extra
checked
things to
his
bring on to
answers?
that question of the day.
Yeah.
Official magical bike ride, one of the best names on YouTube, by the way. Just thankful
know.
for the Rabble, and we're thankful for you guys, because if it works both ways, the Rabble is only as good as the people that watch it. So you lot make up a lot of this as well. Sniper, quite right. Big Donald for his merch and his knowledge and his know-how on all that sort of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's definitely been a highlight, huge highlight, Donald.
And he's been on as well. He's been on as
well.
He
actually made a wee cameo last night. Did you see it?
I didn't last night because I was up doing the Rabble Rap.
He got on for that. I think someone asked about. I think was it Quinny, the new guy podding. I think he asked about do you make Rabble dressing gowns or something, and they quickly flashed. Donald quickly flashed into the pod saying, "I'll make whatever you want me to make, mate." So
last night I didn't see any of it because I was on the Rabble wrestling the night before, so I got to bed at 4:15 and was awake at 6:30. So I was in no fit state to be doing anything last night. So no, I missed that one. Yes, Gallant, it was funny from your side of things, but from my side of things, it was highly infuriating that somebody every time I did something.
Good picture again. Another good picture there from Gallant.
And I think Martin's paid Geordie to put this one on. The growth of the membership.
No, that wouldn't be Martin. Martin's always saying it's not enough. It's not enough. We need more.
It's Fringe. Martin's Fringe.
Yeah,
might have to go back and watch some videos for that one. So there's a lot going on for the question of the day. Let's see if we got any more names. We've got a few more names, but I'm not going to say anything. I'm not saying whether people have got it. I'm not saying people haven't got it.
I have a proper.
Amato's been done twice. Official magical bike rides. We're not doing him again.
Right. Do you think we should release the second clue then, Ian?
Yeah, I'll give you another clue and probably then give you another 5 minutes to get it. So by 12:57. If you haven't got it by 12:57, you ain't getting it, because we'll close the answers. The answers will be taken and charges will be made if you don't do it at that point. So I played 5 times for my country. Brian, I will recap it all once I've done it. Okay, so 5 times for my country. And apart from Scotland, outside of my homeland, the only other country I played in was Sweden.
Right, that's enough. That's enough.
So, Brian, just to cap it all for you, he's an advocate signing and spent 3 years at the club. Played 5 times for his country. And the only other country outside of his homeland, bar Scotland, that he played in was Sweden.
Can I just say live on air here? Tim Sharp's just texted me saying, "What's the answer?"
Now we know how it goes, Sharpie. Now we know.
Well, he's a wee sneak, isn't he? What a sneak that boy is.
Talent. In the words of Dr. Evil, how about no?
Oh, mate, this is. Yeah. Right. Let's we need to quickly put this to bed so we can get a point here.
Yeah, we got 3 more minutes at least, and then we'll be away.
Yeah.
But there you go. Anything else to go with on the signings and whatnot, and we'll come back to look for more bits in a minute.
I mean, listen, what we need to remember is, right, January window's not a silver bullet, Ian. There's not a lot of. We've had more mistakes in January than we've had successes. So, but you can only hope that some of the people that we potentially have lined up for January is people that we've been looking at for a while. Very good. I know. It's, I'll grass Tim in every day of the week, Aldo, every day of the week, because he does the same to me. There we go. That's a bit more like it. Yeah. but yeah. Nah, I mean, I wouldn't expect. I mean, again, clubs know that we're strengthening. That we need more quality into our squad, Ian. So, you don't want to be held to ransom on some loan deals or any, paying over the odds on a loan deal like said Johnny Evans or whatever that may be. Albeit I can understand him being a stopgap, but a stopgap for what? We're going to be second this year regardless. So why would you then go and waste big money on securing second for sure when we'll do that anyway with Johnny Evans? I know there's still a cup to play for. But I've got to say, yeah, it just needs to be, something that's going to, if we're going to sign some people in January, you've got to make sure it's not just for the remainder of the season. That's not what Rangers certainly told the fans that they intended to do, Ian. So I would, just proceed with caution. I think we'll see a couple of bodies in January, and we'll see more movement in the summer. We just need to understand if Clement is the man that's going to oversee those summer signings. Because as far as away form goes in the SPFL, he's a mile off. He's a mile off at the moment.
Yeah. He needs to. There's something that needs to be done within the club that say, look, the player. This is the type of player we need. I know what you're trying to do, but we need players in it who know this league and know how to play in this league. And he has to kind of mix the two. I mean, Advocat seemed to get it fairly quickly. He had a base of Scottish players in that team, and managed to buy players that would battle. He kept a few players from the Walter Smith era as well to keep that mentality within the club. So we just need to find that. Just so you know, that's 12:57. Any more answers that come in for the Who Am I is a null and void. We'll give you the results in a minute. A lot of names being banded about.
Yeah,
there
is.
A lot of names. Brian brings up a good shout.
Yeah, I was going to say Armstrong out of contract at Kelly. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I don't know enough. Don't know enough about Armstrong, to be honest. Ian, do you?
I've only, obviously, from what I've seen, I mean, I don't watch Kelly on a regular basis. I got a cousin who supports Kelly, so I could ask some questions, but then I've only seen him when he plays against us and against Celtic as well. I've seen him. He's been a bit of a thorn in their side.
Would he offer something we don't have, Brian? What do you think? Is he a squad player?
He offers any difference to what we've got.
Is he long term? Is he a young player or whatever? I can't think.
Yeah, he's a youngish player. He's not.
Yeah. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah.
I mean, from a hit the ground running point of view, he's going to get in the team above. But he's got Cortez coming back, and obviously Cortez is someone we are having to sign regardless. So
see, I've never been comfortable with that Cortez arrangement. And if you actually look back at Cortez's professional playing career, he's played little or few games in entirety, Ian, and we agreed to a deal that, and listen, Cortez may turn out to be a super player, and he has shown glimpses, but I wouldn't have been so bold to enter yourself into an obligation to buy to the tune of upward of £4 million. So
yeah, they should have redone that deal. I know they did it because of the injury last year, and they assumed that he would be injury free this year.
Well, him and Diomande were in similar deals, weren't they? That was the I think Diomande was obligation to buy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So that's money you don't mind paying, but you can absolutely see it with Deal. You can see it with Deal. Yeah,
there's a bit there. We might see it with Cortez. We don't know yet. Obviously,
I hope so. I just got I've got a bad feeling about that one. I'm just not sure that. I mean, there's a lot of players that think that Cortez is a good player. A lot of guys in the pod, that think Cortez is a good player, but I've yet to be convinced. And albeit he's been ridiculously unlucky with injuries.
He has. And if he gets a good run and we see something, then maybe they can turn it around and shove it straight back down our throats or whatever. I mean, Gallant. I mean, he came on. He didn't start against him, and I didn't see the game. I've only seen the highlights because I was working on Sunday. But I believe he came on. He didn't start the game, did he?
Yeah, he came on. Yeah, I mean, Tim makes a good point here as well. He won't be paid in a lump sum, but nonetheless, it still amounts to the amount, £4 million odd pounds it amounts to. So whether we're paying it up.
Well, first off, stop backtracking just because you called him out, and stop trying to qualify with your bestie. But no, I think you're right.
At least I thought he disappeared there after that.
But Drop Blue, Cortez will come good. We're hoping. Linda, you are quite right. We're silly on agreeing obligation to buy him. But even if we were doing that, we should have maybe gone back in, renegotiated, and asked to bring the overall transfer fee down because we obviously lost the season out of him. That seems like a good thing. We'll get him on some sort of.
Do you think they'll agree to those terms? We'll pay £6.80 a week over 200 years, Ian.
If we hide it and make it look like decimal points and whatnot, then we could do it. I reckon we could. But Drop Blue again coming in to back him up, saying that that's not Drop Blue. That is saying that Cortez was an absolute star in a South American tournament. Not sure which one, whether it was an under.
I think Drop Blue's just taking the polar opposite of everything I say. Ian,
is it your burner account?
What's that? Yeah. It's actually my wife. That's where it'll be. She's in the office winding me up.
I don't think we call it a burner account anymore. It's your Michael Beale account, isn't it? So that you can get in there. But yeah, maybe this is true because I know you were trying to get that one in.
Oh yeah.
Right then.
It's been a while since I've been stitched up in that. That's good. That's the plus points of being off ill.
And AJ, I will agree with you. I reckon around about 2.5, maybe 3 would have been a fair one for Cortez.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Right, let's do this, shall we? The Who Am I for today? We had the usual SIBO come in. I do believe we've actually done SIBO, so I don't think SIBO will be back in.
Yeah, SIBO's been done. It's actually, we need to be careful now because we're getting to the stage where,
Anthony Niemi, Neil McCann, although Neil was spelt wrong. Alan Johnson, Bert Konterman, Hans Gruber. If you know, you know. Bert Konterman, Kanchelskis, Prodan, Johansson, Arthur Newman, Arveladze, and I was getting extremely confident at this point.
I know we were, and then
Rickson, Flo. Yeah. Then we added the Sweden bit in, and that started to get them because Jonas Tern came in.
Yeah, we threw them off in the wrong direction. Yeah.
And then Multiple Man had
the nemesis.
On the top, didn't he?
Yeah, the nemesis.
Multiple Man was the first one to get it by a clear minute.
Yeah, I know.
So we have not won today. We were very confident coming in that we would. And at this point, I'd like to point out this was Ian T's Who Am I, Not Mine. Pentilla.
Tiro Pentilla. I think Aldo might have got it as well. Was it?
Aldo's got it as well. But Multiple Man was first, and then in came Ricky. In came Aldo. And there was a couple after that as well. So Official Magical Bike Ride got it in as well. I thought we had them. I really did think we
definitely had them.
But,
okay, listen, you can't outthink Google. I mean, there's no way. There's no way that. I mean, I thought that was a dead cert today. But
there we are.
14-7. Yeah.
14-7. Nope. Martin will take that, but it's 4-17.
4-17. I think we need to go back into doing non-Rangers players.
Yeah, they don't like it when it's non-Rangers players.
Yeah,
no, they don't like it like that.
I know.
No, Gal, it wasn't Tern. It wasn't Tern. It was Pentilla.
That's it. Well, I'll tell you what, mate, a good effort. No one got it right till the very end.
Yeah, right to the end. And I mean, I don't even think those clues were massive giveaways either. So.
I know they weren't. It was just, when we said 5 times for the country, Multiple Man, that hit a that hit a search engine that worked for him.
He said, I mean, I'm looking at his comment there. He just said that he just launched every Evercat sign and he could remember it to chat. But I'm pretty sure that was the only name he gave. Just looking back, I can't even see another Multiple Man guess.
No, he had one right at the beginning, I think, as well. I think it was one of the
first. Oh, no, he put in Yanni Capco. That one I can't even say. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, anyway,
so I'm back later on tonight. I think we've got a late members pod at 9:30, Ian. I think myself and Martin are in. What else is happening? Anything else happening?
Martin and David, Mr.
Of course, the main event.
The main event from Heart and Hand. David Edgar will be on with Martin. Well, Martin will be on with David Edgar, whichever way around you want to do it. They're on tonight as well. You've already had the 2-hour Days Gone stream this morning. So look at the content you're getting. In 2 days, you've had 7 shows. So that's not bad going, is it? So get in there. I mean, this is still a public one as far as I'm aware. So if you don't, and you want the other content as well, the member side of things, just hit the link in the description or hit the join button if you're watching on a mobile, I believe, and get yourself a membership if you want to. Again, it's up to you. We don't force anyone to do it. It's only if you can and you've got the means to do so. Because it's a tough time at the moment, and we've just gone past Christmas as well, so we're all trying to get through to that last week of January, which is never an easy thing. But if you want it, it's there. But remember on the way out to like and subscribe as well, because otherwise we'll get told off later for not making sure that you did that. But with that, unless there's anything else, we are going to go, and Ian will have a little lie down before he comes back on tonight.
Yeah, brilliant. That's great, guys. See you soon.
See you later.